How muscles work. Muscles are essential for movement in our bodies. They work by contracting and relaxing, and they often work in pairs called antagonistic muscles to move bones. Let's explore how muscles function, how antagonistic muscles work, and how to calculate the force applied by a muscle. Muscle structure and function. Muscles are made up of long, thin cells called muscle fibers. Each muscle fiber contains smaller units called myofibrils, which are made up of repeating units called sarcomeres. Sarcomeres are the basic units of muscle contraction and are made of proteins called actin and myosin. When a muscle contracts, the myosin and actin filaments slide past each other, shortening the sarcomere. How muscles create movement. Muscles are attached to bones by tendons. When muscles contract, they pull on bones, creating movement at the joints. This process involves neuromuscular junction. This is a nerve signal or impulse reaches the neuromuscular junction, a connection between the nerve and the muscle. Acetylcholine release. This is when the nerve releases a chemical called acetylcholine, which binds to receptors on the muscle fiber, triggering a series of events that lead to muscle contraction. Sliding filament theory. This is when actin and myosin filaments within the sarcomere slide past each other, causing the muscle to shorten and generate force. Antagonistic muscles. Muscles often work in pairs known as antagonistic muscles. One muscle of the pair contracts while the other relaxes, allowing movement in opposite directions. Agonist, prime mover, the muscle that contracts to create movement. Antagonist, the muscle that relaxes to allow the movement. Example, the biceps and triceps in the arm. Biceps, when the biceps contract, they pull the forearm up, flexion. Triceps, when the triceps contract, they straighten the arm, extension. You can measure the force applied by muscle. The study of forces acting on the body is called biomechanics. You can measure the size of the force a muscle applies to a bone. First, you need to know about pivots and movements. A pivot is the point around which something rotates. A lever is a bar attached to a pivot. When a force acts on something that has a pivot, it creates a turning effect, and this turning effect is known as a moment. Pivots, levers, and moments are often involved when a force acts on the body. For example, the arm works as a lever with the elbow as a pivot. This means when a force acts on the arm, there is a moment. To calculate the size of the moment, you can use this equation. Moment in Newton meters equals force in newtons, multiplied by perpendicular distance in meters. More information on this is available as a download for you to take your time and read through.